Hello and welcome to the EP Template Studio. I'm going to walk you through on how to create a table view. A table view is useful if you're trying to line things, create something that lines in columns. So you could have multiple columns spanning from left to right in your template. If you watch the other videos, I break down the basic structure of a template. It starts from a table and then it goes down from a column, then a row. What you're looking at on the right here is the standard settings for the template. You can select the device. I'm going to create a template for the Remarkable Pro. I select that. I can toggle on and off the menu placeholder so you can see what your template might look like on your tablet. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to make sure preview is turned off so that we can see the borders around the various elements inside the canvas area. I'm going to start off by clicking this left button here, which expands the table, the tree view of the elements that are in your template. Okay, so all of the elements that I've added will show up in the canvas area. So let's start off by creating a table. Sorry, the table is the highest element inside of a section. You notice I just clicked Add Table, and you can see how it created these three child elements inside of it. So you start off with the table, then it goes from column, and then inside of row you can stack the rows. You can have multiple columns within a table. So let's go ahead and expand this out. I'm going to make this the height of the available of the entire template. So let's move this down, and bear with me as I'm dragging because I had to zoom this in because so that you could see it more clear. Okay, so now we got one table, we got one column. And let's go ahead and work on the first column. It's the best way to do it because I'll show you how to duplicate it later so that if you're having multiple columns, I'm probably going to make 6 columns. So let's start off with one column where we click in here, now we're in the row. So let's be sure to actually select the column here because we want to modify the column. So I want to, first off, when you design your template, you want to lay it out. A good way to do that is use your Remarkable tablet or your e-ink tablet and your e-paper tablet and draw it out on the screen the way you want it to look so that when you're in the program, you know exactly how it's going to flow on inside the tablet. So first off, let's go ahead. We're in the column. It's selected. You notice it'll be indicated by the bottom. Let's say column. This breadcrumb lets you navigate from child elements to the top table. So let's make sure we select column again. And we're going to make standard lines in each of the columns. So when you click this, it's going to be blank because you have to make sure it's set to a certain color before it shows up. So I'm going to set it to dark here, and then I'm going to change the line height, and I'm going to make it close to, let's go 13 millimeters or 50 pixels, okay? So that's how high it is right now. So I'm going to actually put the border here on the left because I'm right-handed and I want the menu to show up. I want the template to butt up against the menu inside on screen. So I have one column here, one row, and it's lined. So one thing we want to do also is there's a body of the column. Okay, you have a body of the column, and then you have a header of the column. So let's make sure we go in the header, because I want something to show up on top of here. I want a column header to show up. I'm going to call it, let's say Monday. Okay. So it's named Monday, and then I'm going to make the font size to be close to that, and I'm going to set the line height of this to be about there. And then let's make sure that this is even. So I'm going to type in 90 here, because I can remember that when I'm creating the other ones. So I want to go in from the left. I want to pad in from the left. Let's say 10. Let's go 20. Let's go 20. So let's make it 20. So we got 90 and we got 20. So we remember that. So we got our first column set up. And what you want to do is see this little control panel here. This is for whatever you have selected. It's for the column. So I'm going to duplicate this. And as you keep clicking this, you see how it's duplicating it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it one more time. Now I got 6, okay? So I'm going to start off by changing this to Tuesday. So I select it, and I go back in the header, and what I want to do is, you got to make sure, this might be catch you sometimes off guard, because the properties of the row and the column are very similar. So you select column again and go to header, and then I want to change this to Tuesday. And then the next one, I want to click in here and I want to change this to Wednesday. And then I'm going to change this and make sure I'm selecting column, and I'm going to change this to Thursday. And then go back here, and you're just going to follow the same pattern here. Make sure you're selecting the column, because the row has similar properties. You can also have a header for the row as well. So you got to make sure you're actually doing it on the column. You can do it for the row as well, but I like to actually do it from the highest and go down, just because that way I can, if I want to apply something else inside the row, I can. So now I'm going to go back to the final one, and I select column, and then I'm going to say Saturday, okay? You can duplicate this as many times as you want, but obviously I want this to fit. So for an example, so we got these set up, and let's just say we want to make the background of Saturday a little bit, actually we want to make sure that we're in the column. We want to make this a little bit lighter, okay? And then because the header is not all the way down, let's make sure it lines up with, I'm in the row again, make sure it lines up with the line height to the actual row, okay? So now we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I want to make sure, I'm going to go back in here and make sure all of them line up, because I have a little bit of an OCE thing going on. So I'm going to click 100, and I'm going to go back here and make sure that column header is set. I'm going to set this to 100, and then I'm going to go back in here. So you see a pattern here. What you want to do is make sure you get the first column the way you want it. That way you don't have to go back in here and change it later. So I'm going to do this for all of them. So if I were to do this to all of them, they're going to line up appropriately. But I'm not going to do this I don't want to waste your time. But basically, now you have a table that has 6 columns, and it spans the height of the template. I can also drag this up. Let's say I just want to have it halfway now. And I'm going to add another table beneath this. Okay, so now we got this table. I'm going to add another table at the bottom, and I'm going to add a grid at the bottom. So, if I want to have some notes or something below that, I'm going to make it there. I'm going to add a header here on the column, and I'm going to say notes, okay? And then I'm going to expand this to the height, and then line height it to 100 like the other ones, so they line up appropriately. And then I'm going to bring it in 20 like the other ones. And then I'm going to set the background of this to be black. So you see how when I drag this, it actually will colorize this, and it will swap out the white pixels with the black pixels. I can also make this color if I want. If I have a Remarkable Pro and I want to make this color, I can do the same thing. But let's just keep it black and white. So I'm going to darken this just before it goes into black, like that. And then I'm going to set the actual row body, okay? The row body, not the column, but the row. And I'm going to set it to be a grid, like that. Okay, so now we have a grid, and I like it probably about right there. And then let's bring this down to the edge of the screen. Let's hide this so you can see what it will look like. And then let's turn on preview mode. So I don't have any columns set up here or borders around the column, so I can write here freeform. And there you have it. You have a nice template here with the notes, and you have it throughout the day, and you're good to go. You can, with this view, with the table view or with columns, you can pretty much mix and match anything you need to create what you want to create. But I think a good use of this would be if you want to have like items within here that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You could actually have a checklist for Friday, Thursday, or Wednesday, and use this type of template. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to subscribe below. If you have comments on, if you have questions on how to do this, or if it's not working out for you, we always watch the comments and we reply to you as soon as possible. Thank you for being a part of eInkPads and using our tools. We really appreciate you. And thank you. Remember to subscribe below. And also we have a video where we're giving out Remarkable Paper Pro once we get enough subscriptions. So feel free to subscribe to this video and follow the directions of that video. You put your name, and then once we do that giveaway, the tablet could be yours. Thank you so much for being a part of us, and we'll see you later.